Yo, what's up, guys? This is Tumi, Tladi, and you are watching the Weekend Turn Up with Sports Scene. Shout out to Sports Scene for having me. Yes, sir. Tumi Tladi is this goofy, energetic, person who really just wants to live life and really explore, untapped things in life. And I was basically a dancer. Music found its way into my heart since forever. But one thing I can say about my sound is that I really want to find something that can connect people that I create, with my producers and stuff, and basically really reach into the soul of, human beings with no boundaries, not just words. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in the music industry is that nobody owes you nothing. You gotta really put in the work. You gotta show people that you really want this, because if you don't take yourself seriously, I'm sure you've heard that, no one will take you seriously. It's a common phrase that I'm sure people have heard before. And that's what I did. And from here moving forward, I feel like I just have to prove myself more to myself, especially. I think that's the journey I'm on right now, because now I also, I don't have to do this for anybody. I look up to people like AK and Drake because they've been consistent for so long. And both one is South African, one is American, and I feel like you should feed off from both sides, and learn from it, And my music's influenced like that. I'll come when I do my sound, I'll come with a sound that might sound an American frequency. At the same time, we combine it with a South African frequency. So I kind of use them as my muses in helping make people understand my music universally, even if it's in a different language, it's a different genre. How do I make people that don't even listen to my sound connect to it? My first song was actually, funny enough, with Costa Titch. Not actually funny enough, yeah. We were like, yo, we did dance videos, And the one time I did a dance video, I did it to this one song by Ace Hood. And Channel O was like, yo, if only this was your song, this is like a music video. That's how we shot the dance video, They're like, I would put it on Channel O. And I'm like, to Costa, I'm like, bro, they would have put my video on Channel O, man. Like, if only now it was our song. Costa's like, yeah, man, we should actually make a song and then dance to it, and then, could get an opportunity there. I'm like, let's do it. Costa organizes with a friend that's a rapper called Mars Kid, and says, yo, bro, we want to come to Nelspruit, record a song. Hey, get to Nelspruit, record a song. We don't know how to write yet. Mars Kid helps us with the writing. And then, we make this song, Punchline. And we just wanted to groove, man. I think we in swag on goose, so I hit him with a punchline. Trying to get that cash. The biggest mistake I think other rappers that sometimes talk bad about us is they think we're trying to compete with them, and we trying to do a whole new lane. You know what I mean? There's people that talk about bars, rap like this, rap like this, rap like. We want to be artists. And let me speak for myself. I want to be an artist. I'm not going for the biggest rapper in the country. I'm going for the biggest artist in the country. Yeah, I pretty much know how the labels work now. I pretty much know their access. Example, as an artist, I'll have access to this musical platform that, other independent artists will be like, yo, how do you meet those guys that are selling our music? So even if a label comes to me now, I'll be like, okay, what can you do? You can't really do much for me that I already know. So it's more of what can you do for me when I'm already big then, and I believe in the label must work for you. When you're an upcoming artist and you sign to a label, you're an employee of the label. But my thing is, if I ever sign to labels, they work for me. My biggest advice to artists is that be patient, man. If you want to rush and blow up, sometimes you can also fall as quick because you just don't understand the dynamics of what's going on. So slow growth is so important for you to absorb. I used to think that I'm a failing artist because I've been doing this for 7 years. But I realized that those 7 years of preparation for me to handle everything in future when I know I'm a blow up. How we came about making Basadi is that it was pretty much studio session, man, and we just trying to have as many studio sessions as possible. You know, I played you guys an exclusive, and that's just from always being in the studio, you know. And I won't lie, I low-key like slipped on Basadi, just because of how fast we were moving. We like, yo, record songs, you know. And Phantom Steez and Alpha Cat were in the studio, you know, and we were vibing, creating ideas for the song, you know. And then, yeah, we pretty much finished it. Then, you know, when I'm sending out to WhatsApp groups and stuff, I'm like, yo, guys, which songs should I release? I constantly see Basadi. They say, yo, which one is this one? Which one is this one? You know, I'm like, oh, snap, you guys are liking this one? Oh, okay. So, like, even me dropping Basadi as a single before the remix was based on people. And that's another thing I learned is that, like, I learned that because I want to be for the people, I gotta listen to the people, but I have to be able to listen in a smart way, you know. Hence why if I played you guys my exclusive, I see your reaction, I know how to do with those reactions. So I released Basadi, I'm seeing the reactions before COVID. You know, I'm like, oh snap, it's actually a buzz. Yo, gents are trying to book me for the song. I'm like, oh snap, the song is lit, you know. Then, hey, COVID happens, you know, now we like, damn, how do we what do we do now? And I was doing content, you know. So another thing about us and about me is that, like, I feel like we're the new age content artists, you know. So I was doing a lot of content for Basadi, like pushing content. And then when COVID happened, I was like, yo, I'm running out of content now to do for the song, because now I was gonna make more content with shows, but now there's no shows. You know, and then Musli's manager, Spuda The Rock, was like, yo, that song's a bang, we play PlayStation together, you know, and he's like, yo, that song Basadi's a bang. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what to do now, like, it's COVID, we stuck at home, busy playing PlayStation, like, what do I do with music, you know? Do I just keep on releasing? Because that was my plan. I was like, I'm just gonna keep dropping music. He's like, yeah, no, drop music, but also, hey, what about a remix? And I was like, oh, snap, there could be a remix, like with Musli. He's like, yeah, Musli can jump on it. Don't worry, boy, I got you. So take this. I go to Spuda, I'm like, yo, man, please give this to Musli, see what she can do. He's like, all right, clean. Hey, she sends it back. I'm like, yo, this verse is fire. Damn, Musli. Okay. You know, hey, must be that was also like, yo, we need more of the smoke. I was like, who else can we get, you know? And then Rouge calls me for Costa Tish number. It's like, yo, can you send me Costa's number? Then I'm like, oh, Auntie. I was like, oh yeah, I send it. I'm like, yo, let me give you a song. Check this song out. And then she tells us the story how she bumped into, she got the song, but then she's like, I'll listen later. They're driving, her and Macmillan are driving in the car, and then they hear the song where they're like, yo, the song's a banger. Whose song is this? And then she hears a gap in the verse. She hears Musli. She's like, oh, Musli's on the song, okay. But then she hears a gap, and she's like, oh, who's on the song? Like, why do I have this? And then that's when they realize, oh, it's Tumi's song. We need to jump on this one. And the way she announced it was on Twitter. So she didn't message me and say, yo, Tumi, I'm jamming on the song. She says it on Twitter. Yeah, so I made an EP during COVID, you know, and that was a stage where I realized life was so short. Yo, I was making music for like people in a sense of what they said I should make. You know, also my producers also trying to follow what people trying to give us comments on. And then at some point we were just like, man, look at this, it's COVID, like we could die tomorrow. I said, okay, I'm gonna do whatever music I wanna do. Because before then, last year and the years before, I was making music according to what people think is a hit and what people think should be in the streets, you know. And we weren't listening to our hearts. Ooh, feeling so good that I'm Gucci. There's a couple, you know, from obviously the gang, you know, from Costa Tish to Phantom Steez to Benny Chill. Must be Dabs, Alpha Cat, you know, and sorry, gents, if I haven't mentioned anyone else, but like, Nalcino, Shampuru, like all these gents in our gang, like they inspire me because when we get together, whether it's at my crib or one of the gents' crib, and there's always chats like Benny will come into the crib, like, yo, gents, hey gents, we have to work. Yo, gents, yo, the game. So we always like motivate each other in a sense of like, yo, hey guys, it's war out there, you know what I mean? And it makes it fun, man. It makes it exciting. And I get inspired by what the gents will say about their moves, what they got planned, you know, and they'll give their 2 cents about what they feel like we should all do, you know, whether it's a gang or individually. Gents advise each other. I'll be like, yo, I want to release this song, or what do you think? Should I release it at this time? You know, and we kind of help each other. So it's not like a label. It's a friendship amongst each other, where it's like we still helping each other, A&R wise even, you know.
Good that I'm Gucci. Niggas can't fuck with my style.
And in terms of the industry, you know, I got people from DJ Swish to Slicker, you know, just people that have seen me go through all the transitions. I feel like if I ever had to have a documentary one day, I feel like the DJ Switches and the Slickers will be the ones talking the most, just in terms of an outside perspective of seeing my journey as an artist from dancing to music, because they've seen it since, like, all the transitions, they've seen it, you know. So when I work hard, they make sure I receive in the right form, you know, and I think that's what I'm lucky about. I'm not spoon-fed by anybody. You can expect like music for myself and like artist called Vegas, and this is me wanting to connect with the new wave. You know, a lot of people say that I kind of skipped the new wave industry and went to mainstream, but I've always had a fascination of the new wave, the hunger. You know, they have the non-apologetic attitude, the cultural moves of the new wave. So I did a song with Vegas, and I feel like he's such an important part of the new wave and the culture of trap music. You guys can get me on Instagram. That's like my main platform. Facebook if you like, Twitter, and it's all at Tumi Tladi, TUMITLADI. And if you want to get my music, it's everywhere. I had to make sure it's available, even on that website that is making us poor. You can get it anywhere, guys. Like, and yeah, let me know what you think. Never be afraid to DM me. I always love chats with my people.
Feeling so good that I'm Gucci. Niggas can't